clearly it's not the same championship because Mark's not here, but yes, it's still sport, and unfortunately and fortunately, that's the racing game, you know. And when people retire, when people fall out through injury or whatever, the racing will still continue on. And, you know, is the racing still exciting? Yes. You know, has it been an interesting season? Yes, you know. So it's certainly not as predictable without Mark being here. You know, equally, it's still MotoGP, and MotoGP is very exciting, and that's what continually gets people to turn on the vision, because we can't come here at the moment to watch it. But you know, it's an exciting sport. Okay, questionably, the strongest rider's not here due to an injury, part of the game. It's part of racing, so he's not here. All the rest of the guys who are the equally as talented are now racing. Like everybody else, it's a little bit strange, to be honest. Not strange because Mark's not here. Strange that nobody's been able to be consistent. And for what reason, who knows? You know, I haven't really been closely following it, but it does seem like a lot of accidents compared to in years gone by. So okay, the people winning the races are always changing, but there's also people falling away a lot during the races, which is unusual. And whether or not that's the time we're racing on, the cold and hot conditions where we're not normally at, the sport's not normally at, but one way or another, it's turned into a very exciting season, not knowing who's going to be leading the championship at the end, and I suspect it's going to go right down to the wire. The Yamaha overhaul looks very, very strong. So, and Quartararo's doing an amazing job, but he was doing an amazing job last year with Marquez there as well. You know, this may have been almost playing with him a little bit at some races last year, but it would have taught the boy a lot, you know, or the young man, and he's brought that straight into this season, and was, in fact, you know, Mark and him were challenging each other when Mark had his accident. So, you know, the high, and you know, Quartararo has had some, for whatever reason, as I say, I'm not here and close enough to it to understand what the problem was, especially in Austria. But he's recovering strongly, and he's looking like the favourite. But with that, the other guys have seemed to come on strong as well. So it's going to be an exciting season, and who's going to win, I'm not sure. But you know, Quartararo is certainly in the prime position. Suzuki, you know, Joan Mir is, I think, surprised everybody. He's doing a magnificent job out there on the Suzuki. The Suzuki, again, I'm not close enough to it. I keep saying that because I'm not. So it's just from what I'm watching. But you know, it seems to take a long time to get the tyres to come on. When they come on, he's marginally quicker than the other competitors. So unfortunately, the race is only as long as it is because he's coming through at such speed. But look, he's impressive. I think if they could get qualifying a little bit better and be quicker at the first stage of the race, he'd be a serious title contender. Right at the moment, we've got to really wait and see how consistent the finishes can remain towards the end of the season. But Suzuki's doing a great job, and I think they've done, you know, a great job over the past few years. Just hopefully they can find that last little piece and they can win the World Championship, and Mir's probably the man to do it. I think with Morbidelli, he's always had the potential to be strong, and then having a strong teammate like Quartararo only elevates yourself as well. He seems to be working very well with Valentino at the VR Academy, and you know, I'm sure Valentino's helping him as well. But for me, having a strong teammate always elevates the other guy, and you know, you certainly don't want to be the number 2 in the team. And Morbidelli certainly, it's the pendulum swings which weekends go in which way for whom. So you know, he's certainly got World Championship potential on his shoulders, and hopefully one day we can see that. Over the years, you know, it started really back when, throughout my career, the satellite teams were getting closer, you know, both with all the technical areas within the tyres, with suspensions, with equipment. and I think now it's more evident than ever before. And the bikes, I don't think the steps are as big as they were in the past, but also the whole grid still works machinery, and the tyres now are all the same. So the capabilities of achieving your goal of winning a race is better than it's ever been, and the competition with that has improved as well, because there's no excuse to say, oh, my bike's no good. So if you're not performing on the bike, they get somebody else who's capable to be able to compete. And it's made for a great championship, and there's not too many other sports around the globe that have this sort of business plan to get everyone to be able to win a race. I think you're watching the same championship as me. It's very difficult to predict. The funny thing for this year, it's not so much funny, is that the main contenders are all making mistakes for one reason or another, whether it's their fault or not their fault. So all of a sudden they have a good points lead and then they don't. So it's so unpredictable at the moment. There's a handful of people that could be winning the championship, but I really think it's either going to be a Yamaha or Mir.